Welcome back, guys, to the channel. Today, I have something that I think is gonna be really good and juicy. Got two projects that I am comparing one to another, and I think that this is gonna be also a gem. So, please hit the like, subscribe to the channel, and without further ado, let's get into it, guys, because we got a lot to talk about. Gonna try to make it quick. All right. We are gonna talk about a narrative that not a lot of people have been talking about, okay? And this is metaverses. I mean, we keep hearing about gaming and gaming and gaming, and Decentraland is part of that. And the other project that I'm gonna talk about is also part of that. But people are very focused on, you know, just kind of gaming at the moment. And the metaverses are much more than just game. It's also a social, world that, a lot of things could be done in it. And so if you've been in the space for some time, I mean, you would know that, um, you know, that the Centraland, has been around for a while. So these guys, they have this 2024 manifesto where they are focusing on trying to better um, their ecosystem as it is, because sometimes it could be a little clunky. So they're actually making it much better, so it can be smoother and all that. And they're also adding an expansion into virtual reality, which we're going to talk a little bit about that now, and mobile. And the whole thing about, you know, and this was another thing that was kind of like getting me, my wheels were turning. And I'm like, man, it was almost like not a lot of people paid so much, attention to the Apple Vision Pro. And, in the sense of, man, like this stuff can actually be used for, you know, these um, these places, these metaverses. People focused more about gaming. They focus literally. They focus more about storage. Okay? That's what mainly moved prices. That's what went up. Okay, and so I think that there's another narrative behind these wearables, and I think that when that sinks into the market and people's head, I think these projects have a potential to do absolutely stunning. And so we're trying to get ahead of the masses. So like that, we are set beautifully. You know, we front load everybody, and when everybody else comes in, then we just go with the wave, guys. And we are gonna go absolutely to the moon and beyond. SDK7 is the latest version that they're using. It improves usability, performance, and portability. Um, so, it just makes the whole experience go a little bit smoother. Once again, we're talking about wearables. I mean, watches, right? The headsets. I mean, imagine having a shirt that has some sensors or whatnot. I mean, this almost reminds me a little bit about that movie, Ready Player One. Amazing. If you guys haven't seen it, it's a very interesting concept, and this almost reminds me a little bit of that. And I think that narrative, once again, is gonna come and is going to, you know, it's gonna linger for a little while. So um, with that said, let's look. I mean, you guys wanna, if you guys wanna come in here into their website, you can check like through it. It's pretty cool. Got a lot of stuff for if you want to create, if you want to be an influencer. Um, let's see what else. You want to buy land, rent land. You can, I guess you can claim your name too. Down here, what is the central land? You can come down here and read up on it, and it'll tell you, so it's pretty cool. And so let's just go and check up on down here, you know, virtual reality. You guys can always get like a little summary of, what mana is down here. It's also an NFT plays. And mana, you can find it in Ethereum, Gnosis, Chain, Solana. Okay, so now let's talk about what everybody wants to talk about, okay, which is normally prices and that stuff and potential of where things could be headed to. And so mana at the moment is 57 cents approximately. So I went and I hit all, I wanted to check, okay, how far did mana run? Now, I don't want to look at this, as price per token, even though here in the all-time highs, you know, the highest that mana went was 5.90. I mean, about $6. Okay, guys. So it went almost $6. Okay, that was the highest it went. So that's what, over 10x of where it's at right now. And that was in the last market. This market, there's going to be way more liquidity that's going to flow into this space. So I wouldn't be surprised if mana could potentially go further than $6. But at the moment, let's say that it'll reach its all-time high, and you could get a very cool 10x. So $100 in, $1,000 out, $1,000 in, $10,000 out. Y'all get the point. So let's change this so we can look at the market cap, okay? Because this is what's gonna guide us as to how do we compare this to the next project. And I want you guys to keep this figure in mind. We're going to take this to the point over here, and it was $9.5 billion. Okay, $9.5 billion, guys. It was the highest that mana hit back in the last cycle. All right. And so I want you guys to keep that number in mind. So now let's go to the next project, okay? So that don't keep you guys here for too long. Oh, but before that, it's always good to go and check in Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, and check here to see like how good or how healthy the community is. I mean, they still have over 621,000 followers, so the community is still pretty strong, is healthy, and oh yeah, I wanted to show you guys this also because this is pretty good to look at. You see, about 80% of the token holders are 80% of the token holders are long-term holders. Okay. I mean, there's something about this that's a little thing, because it says whale holding. It's almost 51%. So kind of keep that in the back of your head, that there might be a little volatility because sometimes the whales, they do whalish things. Okay. So mana, all right, let's get to the next project, guys. And this project is my, this project could be very exciting, guys. And this is EXGOLAND. And these guys, they just released this project the first of this month. So they're barely out, okay? So you're not gonna see a lot of information on them because they're very, very, very new. And so I want to look at this token distribution. But before that, let's go to the EXGOLAND just so we could kind of have a little idea here, of what is EXGOLAND. And practically, guys, this is almost identical to mana, all right? And it's an NFT market, a marketplace or whatnot. It is powered by an artificial intelligence. It is a metaverse. It is a virtual world. Like practically what you'll see in Decentraland, you'll be able to see here, you know. Um, So it's practically a twin, I guess you could say. Except that EXGOLAND is only limited to Solana. So, I mean, that's a good thing, but it's a bad thing because if Ethereum moves, XGO might not. But if Solana moves, well, it will take XGO with it. Okay. And Solana has been doing absolutely amazing this run. All right. So I wanted to just point that out before we get to this token distribution, which is absolutely essential to take a look at. And we want to make sure, because there's very little coins in circulation, okay, that they initially unlocked. Okay, they only unlocked 5 million tokens in the initial public sale. And so there's going to be unlockings that are going to be happening starting in May, I think it is. Yes, in May. And so from that point on, they're going to be unlocking more tokens and more tokens and more tokens. But don't worry about it. I did a little chart over here, a little handy dandy chart. And here I actually overcalculated a little bit more than what the exact amount of tokens that should be um, in circulation in the first year. And why the first year? Because if we look at the very first line, the development team and the founders, they're not going to be able to touch their tokens, okay, until 12 months. All right. So that should be like around February of next year. So until then, we got um, a lot of the tokens that are going to be in circulation. It's going to be more of an organic thing. I mean, the development team and the founders could be, once they start getting their allocation, they could be dumping, in the market. And so we want to try to avoid that. And if, you know, unless the project is doing absolutely amazing at that point, their dumping might not do much. But if not, I mean, that could be an exit strategy for you and for me as well. So here it is. All right. So I calculated that approximately 54 million tokens are going to be unlocked for market liquidity. Okay. About 60 million will be for marketing and partnerships. About 50 million will be for project reserves. Another 50 million tokens are, I'm calculating this for the staking. I just went super high. I put that 50% is going to be um, unlocked, but it might be less. But nevertheless, I rather shoot, you know, if I'm gonna, you know, have any errors, I rather error and I rather be wrong. I overdoing it than underdoing it. So, but anyways, so the total after the first year should be approximately 214 million tokens. Okay, that will be in circulation after the first year. So I decided, I was like, you know what? Let me just calculate how much would be the market cap for um, EXGOLAND at the current price. And those 214 million tokens at the current price, okay, would be about $12 million. Yeah, you guys heard that. 12 means, yeah, 12 measly. But it's so little a number in comparison to, and I mean, soon enough, $2.5 trillion, you know, space. I mean, this is nothing. This is just a drop in a sea of a lot of water. All right. So it's still very, very small. And so keep that number in mind. Okay. Remember that mana at its highest was $9.5 billion. Okay. This project, with all the tokens that will be out in the first year, at the current price would be about $12 million. This is absolutely insane, guys, because that means that if let's look at Mana again. Mana right now is sitting at over $1 billion, right? But let's say that XGO doesn't make it to the 1 billion. Let's say that it makes it to 500 million. How many X's from $12 million is Mana? Yeah, 40 X's, guys. About 40X from 12, actually, no, a little over 40X, okay, to get to $500 million, which is still nothing, all right? $500 million would be about 41, maybe a little over 40X. That means that for XGO to make it to $1 billion, well, for that number, we're talking about probably like a cool 80X. So, does XGO have the potential to make it to 100X? I honestly believe so. I honestly do believe so. However, this play is super, super, super risky, guys. Super risky. But the upside is out of this world, okay? I mean, I'm talking about you put $100. If this thing does 100X, you put in $100 and you're looking at what, $10,000? Yeah, $10,000. That's insane. If you put $1,000, you're looking at 100K. Uh, Once again, super, super risky. You could lose it all. This is not financial advice. This is the way that my brain is working, guys. Okay. This is the way that I'm looking at this. And I think that the potential for this project is literally out of this world. But once again, it could all go down to zero, just like any other project, just like Mana and everybody else. But I mean, you just got to weigh, you know, the risk reward. And I think that this project has a potential to be a very, very, it could pay off. But nevertheless, guys, these are the two projects that I wanted to bring here. And again, Mana went to $9.5 billion. Can it go over that? I think so. I think Mana can go over the 9.5. But even if it just reaches the 9.5, I mean, you're talking about 9, almost 10x from where it's at right now. If XGO just does a tenth of that, you're talking about $900,000. I mean, that's crazy money. That's about 80x right there. So, guys, just do your own homework, okay? Do your own research. I'm just bringing these numbers over here. I'm just a guy on YouTube. I do like this project and I do hold it because I do believe that XGO is going to make a lot of people happy. And I sure hope that after your own research, you may be one of those too. You guys have a blessed evening. I shall see you in the next video. Please, guys, subscribe and hit like. Help the channel. I'm working super, super, super hard to try to bring you guys some good alpha that will hopefully make you guys extremely, extremely rich. Take care, and y'all have a good night. Bye bye.